Hello, how are we? And today I am showing you crochet finished projects that I have lying around my house because I have quite a few because I don't like getting rid of things, and why not? I've got a variety of things. I've got like some plushies, blankets, some cardigans which are hung up behind me, and I've even got like, I think one of the first things I've crocheted with me. So yeah, let's just get on with showing you what I've got. So I'm going to do this again the same way I did my whips video, from going smallest projects to the largest projects. So the smallest project that I've currently actually got in the house with me is one of the first things I ever actually crocheted. So I made this back when I was learning to crochet, and it is quite simply just some scrunchies. So I decided to make these because during lockdown I was like, oh, I can have a little business endeavour, and I knew how to knit before I crocheted, so these ones are actually knitted, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a fortune out of selling knitted scrunchies. So I knitted these ones all in different stitches, and I sold one, and the lady I sold it to said, oh, have you ever tried crochet? I was like, well, no, I haven't, but I can give it a go. So that's when I decided I might just try my hand at crochet. Fell in love with crochet. But the first thing I made was these scrunchies, because the way I made these scrunchies is I just crocheted a long piece of fabric, and then I folded it in half and sewed it around a hair tie. I don't use these scrunchies very often, to be honest. They are genuinely just sat in a bag in my cupboard, but I don't want to get rid of them because they're like the first things that like introduced me into crochet. And you know, if cheeky little me never decided, ooh, let's make some bag, who knows, I may have never learned to crochet. So yeah, crochet scrunchies. The next project I have around my house, this one I actually use quite often, and that is a crochet flannel. So I use the pattern by TL Yarncraft. If I can find the patterns for all of these, I will link them all in the description again, the same way I did with my whips video. And if I don't, and if I forget, just let me know in the comments and I'll get on it. But yeah, this is just a flannel or a face cloth. I made it a lot smaller than I meant to because look at my face, this is barely enough room to cover it. It does have dog hair over, but it's a really pretty pattern, and I definitely want to make some more of these. If I was to make some more of these, I would make them bigger, so they're a bit more practical. But this washes really well. I made this with 100% cotton. I just chuck it in when I wash my towels and my other flannels, and it comes out fine. It's pretty stretchy, it feels great, and yeah, I think everyone just kind of can do with like crochet, or you know, everyone uses flannels, don't they? So crochet flannels, it's practical and it was easy to make. So yeah. So I'm going to show you some of my amigurumi projects. I think that's how you pronounce it. Knowing me, I've probably butchered the pronunciation because English is hard. But yeah, so I crocheted quite a few, I'm gonna call them plushies so I don't keep messing up amigurumi. And the first ones that I've got with me are some seahorses. Let me just get them looking all nice. There they go, little fellas. Some little seahorses. So I made two of these blue and green ones, and then I did also make two of these multicoloured ones with a bit of the yellow fins, but I actually sold this one. I made these for my first and only ever market I've ever done. I did it with a friend I used to work with. I don't think I'll be doing a market again, but I made these, and they're pretty easy. I'm pretty sure all of the crochet plushie patterns I made, I'm pretty sure I did them all from the same YouTube channel, and I can't remember the name currently, but if I find it, I'll let it know down in the description. And I know the YouTube channel I use, they have loads of plushie tutorials and it's really clear instructions, and I really enjoyed following the crochet patterns. But yeah, just some little seahorses. My husband wants me to make some turtles, and I'm pretty sure they have a turtle pattern, so I should probably get on with making him a turtle, because he's been asking for about like what, 2-3 years. So the next plushie I have is Little Piggies. Again, I made 2 of all of these, but I sold 3 of them. This one I made with just acrylic yarn. It's adorable. It's just a little schnauzer. This one is, I think, was the James Cole Brett. I don't know how to pronounce it. You probably know the brand I'm talking about. Fluffy baby yarn. And then this one was Aldi baby yarn. I think this one's my favourite. And yeah, again, I used the same channel that I used to follow the pattern for the seahorses, and they're just little piggies. Currently all of my little crochet plushies kind of all sit together in a plastic bag because I don't know what to do with them. I don't think I'm gonna sell them, but yeah, they're cute. I know I have a grandma who likes pigs. I could probably gift one of these to. Yeah, look how cute they are all stuck up together. The last set of plushies that I have just lying around my house is this set of Stingrays. I made blue, pink and green, and then I also made a green and pink babby ones. Again, same pattern, except I did add a pipe cleaner into the tails of these so I can make them a bit bendy and you can kind of bend them into shape. But these are adorable, or at least I think they're adorable. Unfortunately, no one wanted to buy these, which I understand because it was my first market. I was still fairly new to crochet. I didn't have much on my stall. I don't know if I'd do one again, but I think these are adorable little fellas. It's a fairly easy pattern. Like, I believe this is a no-sew pattern, so they were quick to work up and no sewing, and I hate sewing. But yeah, I made these with little with fluffy baby yarn, and then I made the smaller ones with acrylic yarn. And again, if I can find the pattern, I will link this down below. Okay, so the next item I have to show you is a wearable, and I will definitely be wearing it in winter. And it's still crochet, but this is Tunisian crochet, and this is the first ever Tunisian crochet project item I ever made, because all I did was follow the Tunisian simple stitch and just kept on going, and I made a scarf in this gorgeous rainbow multicolored acrylic yarn. So Tunisian crochet, I explained it in my whip video. I kind of see it as a combination of knitting and crochet at the same time, because you have a crochet hook with like the crochet hook at the end, but it's quite long, and you can get the ones that have the wires as well for like larger projects like blankets and stuff. And I believe I followed the tutorials from Tony Lipsy or TL Yarncraft. I probably don't pronounce the names wrong, again, pronunciation. And I followed her tutorial on how to do the Tunisian simple stitch, and I just carried it on with a scarf. For a while, part of me wanted to add a fringe to this, because I thought a rainbow fringe down at the bottom like would just be really cute, and like red, orange, yellow, greens and pinks and blues, and I thought that would be really pretty. But it also meant that I'd have to buy quite a bit of different yarn to do that. So in the end, I decided I'm not going to put a fringe on it, but it's a really cozy scarf and it keeps me warm. It's pretty warm. You can wear it that way, or this way where you pop it through like that. Yeah, I'm really actually quite proud of this project, because it was my first time actually trying out and doing Tunisian crochet, and I think I did pretty well with the stitches. Like, this scarf is pretty even, if I do say so myself. Like, I've not really dropped stitches or added stitches. I just think it's a really pretty stitch. I think Tunisian crochet is definitely one of those things I want to try out some more and complete projects with. I definitely want to try, I think it's the Tunisian crochet blanket stitch. I think it's a corner to corner. I think that looks absolutely gorgeous, and I definitely want to try and make one of those at some point. But this one sits in my airing cupboard because it's currently summer. I don't need to be wearing this in the UK, but in the winter, if I have to go out in the snow, on the odd occasion we do get snow, or more like the miserable rain for more accuracy for the UK, I'll be wearing this scarf this year and maybe make myself a matching hat or something. So the next project I've got, I'm just going to show you pretty quickly because I already did a whole separate video on this one. I will link it in the information cards and in the description below. But this is my finished scrap blanket for my dog, and it has been in use, so it does smell a bit like my dog and is covered in dog hair. But if you were interested on if I finished that scrap blanket, if you watched the previous couple videos ago, I did finish it, and it is mix of all the little ends of different yarns of balls I had. It's very colourful, and I really love this blanket. It didn't take too long to actually finish, you know. I think I finished it in like under a week, just going at it, finishing it off. But yeah, if you want to hear more about this scrap blanket, then go watch my other video. I also talk about my thoughts on the Taylor Swift crochet dress in that video briefly as well, so if you want to hear about that, go check that one out. The next project I've got, I keep calling them projects as if they're still projects ongoing. I finished all of these. They're not really ongoing projects, they're just ones I have around my house. But I've got two here. They're the exact same. These are just some granny square baby blankets, and I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I have made crochet blankets for quite a few of them, and I suppose I just keep these in case my siblings pop out anymore, then I can pass those on and give them some baby blankets. So I've got this yellow one. I'd say it's more of a mustard coloured baby blanket. Now this one is 100% acrylic, and I use this in an Aran weight yarn. I had one of those big 400 gram balls and I just kept crocheting. So yeah, so there's the mustard coloured one, and then the green one is the exact same size, but I did this in a still 100% acrylic, but this was DK yarn, double knit, and yeah, I think I'm showing it the wrong way. There we go, that way. This was pretty easy to work up both of these. I just kind of sat and crocheted. Originally, this was going to be another Hexagon cardigan. I was making a Hexagon cardigan with this and a blue yarn on the other side, like an adult size one, but instead of making it a cardigan, I was going to make it into a jumper, and then I got to the very end and I didn't make the jumper hole big enough, so it wouldn't fit over my head, so I frogged it, and I decided I'd make the green one into a granny square baby blanket. So I suppose if any of my nieces and nephews come over, I've got baby blankets in the house for them, and if any of my siblings want any more baby blankets, then I've got them and I don't have to make more. Even though baby blankets are probably one of my favourite things to make, because it allows me to try out more stitches, different patterns, different colorways, and I just think they're a great way to just test out new skills. So moving on from the baby blankets, you probably noticed this lovely cardigan I had behind me is no longer there, and that's because I've got it here. So this is a Hexagon cardigan that I made in the split of pink and white, and I'll be honest, I don't really wear this cardigan, and I know you shouldn't hang cardigans on hangers, but I don't have the room to fold it down, so this is just pink and white, and then let me see if I can get this in view. So at the bottom here, I split it. So for the pink side, it has white ribbing, and then on the white side, it's got pink ribbing. And I just think this is adorable. I did the same with the button band, but there's no buttons. And it's a really cute cardigan. I followed the Hexagon cardigan tutorial that I linked in my whips video, because I was currently got an ongoing project of like a baby Hexagon cardigan, or toddler size more accurately. But yeah, I will try and film an overlay of me wearing this if I remember. I don't wear this very much because I did the ribbing at the bottom a bit too tight, so it doesn't really sit very nicely down at the bottom. It kind of cinches outwards and kind of looks like it's like a bit more behind me than it should, so I don't really wear this very often. But I remember making this in, I think, yeah, in a week. I was so excited to finish off this project, and after I finished off this one, that's when I tried making the hexagon like jumper with the green yarn from the baby blanket I've just shown, but obviously it didn't go very well, so I made a baby blanket instead. But yeah, so this was, I think, my second cardigan I've ever made, and it doesn't quite fit right, but I still keep it in my wardrobe because I'm incredibly proud that I finished off this cardigan. So the next one I have, again, this just kind of sits in my wardrobe. This was the first ever crochet wearable I ever made, and it was also my first big project. Like, this took me a while, and in the end I hated how it turned out, because that's just typical of me. Anyone who knows me just knows that's just very typical. So this is a crochet cardigan. It is a long cardigan, like I don't even think I can get it all in view, but it's a long cardigan. I made this using 100% cotton Aran weight, so I think that was my first mistake there. I used Aran because I was like, oh, it'll work up quicker, but it ended up meaning the stitches are very big and very gapey. I hope you can see that there. But this just follows a pattern. I think there's half double crochet, double crochet. It follows like mesh and then some solid bits and then back to mesh, and follows that all the way down. If you can see here, the sleeves are a bit wonky. The cuffs at the end are too small, so they're very tight on my wrists. And I look at this project, and every time I look back at it, all I'm like, this is awful. I did an awful job on this, and I criticize it. And the button band down the front when I wear it is all wonky. Again, if I remember, I'll put an overlay. And as much as I hate on this cardigan and think, oh no, I did an awful job, I also got to remember this was my first big project. Pretty ambitious for me, if I say so myself. And considering when I think about this as my first big project, I don't think I did a bad job. And you know, you might be thinking, well, if you hate it that much, why don't you just frog it and remake it? And I just can't bring myself to do that, because this was my first big project. It's a memory. You know, I was in high school crocheting this, and I was taking it into high school with me and crocheting. And yeah, with that, I don't want to disassemble such a piece that was a start in my crochet journey. So this does just sit in the wardrobe. I've worn it on occasion, but in the end, at this point, my crochet skills are a lot better than this. So I'd much rather wear something that I'm more proud to show off and wear, but I am still happy to keep this in my wardrobe as a keepsake, as a memory. It may be a bit wasteful with all the yarn that's in it, but it's a special piece to me. I think everyone has those special pieces that they just don't want to part with, even if they don't like how it actually turned out, and I really don't like how this looks anymore. I don't think I did a very good job on it. I still don't want to frog it. Just how my head thinks. I'm pretty sure everyone thinks that way. So yeah, this was a crochet cardigan. Again, link in the description to the tutorial. And yeah, so the next project I've got, I have already shown you in my whips video. I showed it because I've got another ongoing whip of the exact same project but in different colours. So this is my 2022 Totally Tunisian calendar blanket, I think was the official name, by Jayda InStitches. Again, I will link it in the description. I have already shown this off, so I'll just graze over this one quick. I absolutely love this blanket. I love how the rainbow colours all go together. I love all the new stitches it taught me in Tunisian crochet. And as I said again in my whips video, if you're wanting to learn Tunisian crochet, I'd say this is probably one of my most favourite ways to do it. Just go make a calendar blanket, because you can remake the calendar blankets from previous years, even if it's not 2022. I mean, it's 2024 now. You can still go back and make the 2022 calendar blanket. It's easy to follow along, crochet along with, and yeah, I definitely go check out the Totally Tunisian Crochet calendar blanket tutorial. And now the time has come for my last project to show you. Again, I keep saying project, my last finished project to show you. This is, I believe, the 2021 calendar blanket by Jayda InStitches. It is still by Jayda InStitches, but I can't fully remember what year it is. This was my first ever calendar blanket that I completed by her, and every year I watch along to watch what calendar blanket she's doing. I haven't participated in the past couple ones, but I have still enjoyed watching them. So this was my first ever crochet calendar blanket, and the concept of this one is all of these individual runners. So let's show this. So you can look at the green and blue one here that I just stick my nail out. The green and blue one there, that is 1 month, and you crochet it along, so there's no sewing in this one. Each month you're adding on to your blanket that you started the previous month, so at the end of the year you've not got that admin of having to sew it all together, which I absolutely loved. I love blankets like that. So each runner is a different month. I remember for special months I bought special yarn. So October I bought this rainbow yarn because my birthday I wanted a special yarn, and it's all different stitches. These are all different stitches that are all relatively easy to learn. I think a lot of them are like just single row repeats. You have a couple that are like multiple row repeats, but they're still really easy to follow along. And then at the end of each row that you make, you border it all with the granny stitch border, and then at the very end I did quite a big granny stitch border with single crochet. Single crochet in between each of them. And this is just a gorgeous blanket. I did make it with a lot of rainbow colours. Some towards the end I started using it as balls I already had in my collection, and I'm really struggling to show this entire thing all in one go on the screen, but it's definitely a tutorial. Again, I would suggest to anyone who wants to do this blanket. I'm trying to figure out which was my first row. Yeah, so the red and the pink here, because this is the border, so let me just fold over the border. There we go. So the red and the pink here, that's January, and then in February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and then obviously border. So I now have to go fold this all up and put all these projects back in their homes. But that is all of the crochet projects I still have around my house. I'm sure in the future I'm going to have loads more projects that are just going to absolutely fill up my house to the point where I'm already outgrowing this house I'm living in. I'm going to have to move. Hopefully one day I'll maybe get my own craft room, game room, book reading room, Warhammer room. Not a lot to ask for. All of my hobbies combined into one. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'm sure my husband will allow me that room. And yeah, I'm sure in the future I'm going to have a lot of projects to add to this, a lot more blankets. Blankets are one of my favourite things to make. So as I said, I've now got to go put all of these back in their homes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give me a like, maybe subscribe for my pretty face. If you want to see more crochet content, reading content, games, anything, let me know. And if you are still watching to the very end of the video, then comment below your favourite colour to crochet with. Personally, I don't have a favourite, but I hate crocheting in black, but black's one of my favourite colours. You just can't see the stitches. Yeah, if you have a favourite colour to crochet with, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy whatever you're doing. Bye!